Hello and welcome to the Arsenal Bite Size Podcast. I'm your host Clayton at ClaytAFC on Twitter, here to do the preview for the Bolton game in what I still can't get used to as the EFL Cup. I will be calling the Carabao Cup. Nice short little preview for you today. Obviously, it's the day before match day. Arteta's done his presser, and as always, he's kept his cards close to his chest. So it was a really, really good presser, though. Like good in the sense of the questions from journalists as always, and a lot of narratives being trying to pushed upon him around Sunday and the City game, but we've done all of that. It's let's move on now. Although I've got so many thoughts that I want to get off my chest, and depending on timing, I may do that at the end of this one. We'll see. If not, might have to do it with Nima because I know we both love a little rant, especially Nima. So maybe on Friday. But anyway, we're here to discuss the Bolton game, and before I get into it, I am actually going on a podcast called The Fan Zone, who are a group of Bolton Wanderers fans, and they've invited me on, so I'll be doing that. I don't know if it's live or pre-recorded, but I'll be going on their channel tomorrow, so 12 p.m. on match day. So yeah, go check them out. They are the Fan Zone. Yeah, so excited for that. But anyway, this one, where to start? So Carabao Cup, EFL Cup, whatever you want to call it. It's one where I think in the Arsene Wenger days, it's always been the one where the kids have played, and it's been an exciting opportunity for us to get to know and see some of the youngsters coming through, right? I think under Arteta, it's been a mixed bag. I can't remember the couple seasons before last, but I remember last year, and let me get it up in front of me. When we played, was it Brentford and then West Ham? It went with like a fairly strong team. We did see a couple of youngsters start in there, but I think that's the best place to start. Let's actually have a look and see what our team was last season in the EFL Cup before we do of trying to predict a team. If anyone gets 11 out of 11 for the predicted lineup tomorrow, you are a fucking genius. And please send me the lottery numbers because Jesus Christ. Obviously, against Man City, Calafiori went off, Timber went off. It's to be seen whether it was cramp or injuries. Saka went off at half time, and if I'm being honest, I thought it was a tactical thing, but there's all the conspiracy theorists out. David Raya was seen limping through the mix zone at the end of the game, and in Arteta's presser today, he did say, I'm going to paraphrase this, but he did say that one of the players that was injured, it is a chance that it could be more serious. I may have completely escalated that and paraphrased it, so may have got that wrong, but it was basically hinting that one of them may not make it. And this is where, I tweeted this yesterday. I really do empathize with people that get injured consistently, especially for my friends that are listening. They will know me. I am one of the most injury prone players going. Like for my Sunday league teams, I'm just always injured. Since 2018, I've not completed a single season without an injury, and they've been like broken ankles, ACL, MCL, meniscus, runner's knee, this, that, all. Take your pick. And I get it, like psychologically, it's so frustrating, especially when you're in a groove, you're in the momentum. But at the professional level, the likes of Tomiyasu and Zinchenko, I'm finding it really hard to not be annoyed that they're not available for this game, because Arteta said Zinchenko's still weeks away. Tomiyasu, we just have no update on. But this is the sort of game where you need to be able to play Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, and maybe a Miles Lewis-Skelly, or a youngster in addition to those three experienced players. But those three experienced players are all fringe players, and it's the ability to give the likes of Saliba, Gabriel, White, Timber, Calafiori, all the rest after the shift they've put in. And I'm pissed off, if I'm being honest, that they're not available while still trying to maintain that level of empathy for how frustrating it is for them. But yeah, let's get into it. So, where do we start? In goal, David Raya. If he's not fit, I don't know what we do. Neto's cup tied. No, do you know what? Before we get into Arsenal and the lineup, I want to talk a bit about Bolton. Because growing up, so I'm 29 years old, and growing up, it's funny, we've been looking at Barclaysman on Twitter and all the nostalgia recently, and Bolton Wanderers are a team for me that I think of some of the Barclaysmen, Kevin Nolan, Kevin Davies, JJ Okocha. Like, I don't know if I'm cheating in that era, but I don't know. Like, and I'm saying this with a smile on my face because they're like fantastic players, but they brought back some horrible memories when I saw us drawn against them. Like, I don't, my memory of specific games and results isn't great. I just have this thing of like Kevin Davies scoring against us, pinning back the centre backs, like really tough physical teams, especially under Allardyce. Um, and yeah, like I've got this article in front of me. Like, this can't be right. It's got supposedly Arsenal's head-to-head record with Bolton, 133 previous meetings in all competitions. That doesn't sound right, but fair play. Like, so people can't slag me off for getting that wrong. I'm going to quote that's on the sportsmole.co.uk. But yeah, it's interesting. The last time we actually did play Bolton was in the Premier League in 2012, February the 1st, and it was 0-0 in the Premier League. We did actually play them in the EFL Cup in the last 16 in October 2011. We beat them 2-1. I'm not going to go through all the head-to-heads and all of that, but yeah, trip down memory lane. They've obviously had a troublesome period since they got relegated in I think it was 2012 they got relegated. And they had troubles in the championship. They obviously went through that really tricky period where they had financial troubles, and when they sadly went into administration. And I think their lowest point was probably when they hit League Two. But yeah, they've kind of since rebuilt themselves. They've regained some stability. Their manager's called Ian Evatt. They're back in League One, and they're looking to work their way up, but they've had like a mixed start to the season. Yeah, but I'm sure that's something that the fan zone tomorrow will educate me. And we've got Cole in the chat, the ultimate Barclaysman team. I agree. Two old clubs though. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm guessing that's on the 133 head to head. So yeah, agree too. Very traditional, old school English clubs. So yeah, let's get into it then. So, like I said, join the fan zone tomorrow. They'll be able to educate me a lot more on Bolton and kind of what to expect from them. I did have a look at them this season. Like I said, they've had a mixed start to the season so far. They have played 6 games in League One and they're currently sat 18th. They've had 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. In terms of like players to keep an eye out for, their top goal scorer is Dion Charles, and the Bagsman has got 4 goals. But on the Arsenal, so I was talking about goalkeepers. Fuck me. David Raya, potentially injured, to be confirmed. That's fine. We've got Neto. He's our second goalkeeper. Neto's fucking cup tied. And I believe Tommy Setford, who we obviously signed in the summer from Ajax, is also injured. Now, reverse engineering this, I looked at the Arsenal Academy's Twitter feed because we were playing against Stoke I think it was yesterday, and last minute winner as well to win 1-0 away at Stoke, which is always a nice place to go and win, Stoke. But the goalkeepers were Ranson and on the bench Okonkwo. And I combined that with the fact that against Atalanta, we had 16-year-old Jack Porter on the bench, who's a goalkeeper. I wonder if that means he's with the first team and training to perhaps be in goal tomorrow. And like, I don't know about you guys, but like, regardless of what people think about the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, Bolton, with respect to them, I just think a goalkeeper is not a position I ever want to be chancing. Like, I was having this conversation with my mate in the pub on Sunday when we were watching the City game. Like, it's all well and good saying, "Oh, just go and play a kid," but like, do we not remember what it was like playing Runarsson in the Europa League? And the Europa League had some good teams in there. Like, my man couldn't catch a football. It's I'm quite nervous about that. I just feel like it's quite simplistic analysis. But if Bolton get in the final third and have a shot on target, I don't think this 16-year-old would have ever faced men and like the power and the technique of their shots. And I think as football fans, we generally really undervalue and underplay the technique, like just how good it is, even in, again, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but just like with context, even in leagues like League One and League Two. So yeah, we'll see. Reverse engineering it, if Raya's out, I'd say it's Porter that goes in goal. Just looking at that. Let me know if anyone's in the chat what you think your 11s will be. And to the Bolton fans that may be joining, welcome. Let me know how you're feeling. If let me know, are any of you making the trip down to London? Have you been to the Emirates before? And what are your thoughts going into the game? Yeah, please get in the chat and let us know. Defense. So Ben White obviously played against Man City, and it sounds like it wasn't the plan for him to come on at all because he's been playing with an injury. Timber has just had a ridiculous load. He played every single game in that week of Spurs, Atalanta, and Man City, and obviously went off. I hope it was with cramp, but to be confirmed. It's a game where Kivior will 100% play. Aiden Heaven is someone that obviously I think was on the bench for one of the games this season and obviously went on season tour, but he played for the academy yesterday, so I don't think he'll be involved. I'm working on an assumption that anyone that played yesterday for the academy isn't going to be involved because I feel like they wouldn't have been in the squad and would be training with the first team. So noticeable names that we think maybe would have played is Salah uh Salah Ulad Mahand. Sorry if I've absolutely butchered that name, but we know him as Salah. He's obviously been in the squad. Oh no, sorry, I was reading two different names there. Yes, Salah. He's been in and around the first team in Preston pre-season, but he played yesterday. Butler Oyedeji, I think he got the winner in that game against Stoke yesterday, but he again has been involved with the first team. He played, but if you look at it, the likes of Miles Lewis-Skelly, Nwaneri, I spoke about the keeper. There's someone else who is Cabia. Cabia was on the bench against Atalanta. I think he's another 16-year-old who. Oh no, sorry, he wasn't on the bench against Atalanta. He was on the bench in another game, but he's another 16-year-old. That's like an attacker, wide forward. So the fact that he wasn't in that squad yesterday makes me think that he'll be involved with the first team. But if I look at what's available, I do have a feeling that one of Gabriel or Saliba will play, which is annoying as hell. But if you look at last year against um, Gabriel played against both Brentford and West Ham in the Carabao Cup, so Arteta has shown a history of actually getting a blend of players involved in this competition. And let's actually go through and sorry, I know I'm jumping a lot here, so it's probably a little bit difficult to follow. But if I go and actually look at the lineup from that game, if I can find it. Very classic thing. It was very much a mix. Where is it? Sorry, I'm aware this is very bad audio for everyone. Yeah, this is sod's law. I can't find it. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my app. But yeah, take my word for it. It was a strong team, and Gabriel played in both. So I've got a feeling Gabriel will play. I think it will be him rather than Saliba because I think with Saliba, there's that single point of failure that we have evidence of and saw when he missed out when we played in that end period of the 22-23 season. With Gabriel, I'm not saying he's not a single point failure or not as important, but I do feel like with Calafiori, with Kivior, we do have natural and like maybe it's different now to be fair. With Timber, we can play White centre back, but I just feel like I'm not going to go into the debate, but Saliba is the better of the two. I finally found the, the lineup from the Brentford game last season. So it was Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabriel White, Kivior, Jorginho, Havertz, Smith Rowe, Nelson and Nketiah, and Sago Jr. And of course, from that lineup now, Ramsdale's not here. Smith Rowe, Nelson and Nketiah is not here. Sago Jr. I don't think he's with us anymore. But that was the game against Brentford, and then the one against West Ham, which I was actually at, which was annoying. But that was also again Ramsdale, White, Gabriel, Kivior, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Vieira, Havertz, Trossard, and Nketiah, Nelson. So from that, again, no Ramsdale, Zinchenko injured, Vieira out on loan, Nelson and Nketiah no longer with the club, Trossard suspended. So okay, I'll stop the waffling. I'll go through and actually put together a predicted 11 and talk through the talking points as and when they arrive. So I said in goal, I think it will be that 16-year-old Jack Porter. If Raya is fit, I think it will be David Raya. I don't think he'll put a 16-year-old in goal. Right back, We've seen Miles Lewis-Skelly invert from left back. We haven't seen him do it right, and he is for the academy. He's always played as a number 6. I think one of White or Timber is going to start at right back. Could it be Josh Nichols? That was the name that escaped me. Josh Nichols wasn't playing for the academy yesterday, and he's been involved with the first team. No, do you know what? I'm going for it. I think it's going to be Josh Nichols right back, Kivior right centre back, Gabriel left centre back, and Miles Lewis-Skelly left back. And obviously, with the caveat, like he'll kind of do the inverted thing, go into midfield and stuff, which is where he's more natural. Midfield 3, I think Jorginho, of course, will play. Nwaneri will play. It's tricky, this. Oh, Jorginho, Nwaneri. I think Nwaneri's a shoo-in. I honestly think Declan Rice might play. Just because he missed out against Spurs. He obviously played Atalanta City. But I think with these sort of games, it's a case of maybe just giving a certain amount of minutes. Like if Declan Rice plays 45 minutes tomorrow, that's not the end of the world. And then maybe you look to bring on one of the youngsters that will be on the bench. So like look to try and get the job done early and yeah, get the first teamers off the pitch. I'll come back to that. I definitely think Jorginho, Nwaneri make up 2 of the 3 in midfield. Need to think about the third. Up front and in the wide areas, I think 2 of them pick themselves, Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling, of course. Really excited to see them play. And then I wonder if there'll be, one of the youngsters. So last year, he obviously played Sago Jr. in one of the games. I wonder if it will be Cabia. And I do look at that, and it's almost like in each line, then you've got the ability to have a mix of experience as well as one of the youngsters. So in defense, it's probably a little bit inexperienced, but with Gabriel and Kivior there, they can hopefully guide the fullbacks either side of them in Nichols and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Jorginho, like, just speaks for himself in terms of experience there with Nwaneri, and then still yet to decide who I think that third one will be. And then, do you know what? I'm going Cabia. I think it'll be Cabia, Jesus, Sterling. Because again, Sterling and Jesus, experienced, like top class players and professionals. And then I think you can afford to have a youngster in that line as well. So you've got that balance. I do think there's a small chance Saka starts if he's fit. Like I said, I thought he went off against Man City because it was tactical. If it was tactical, I do wonder if there's an element of what I said about Declan Rice. Like, it's just give him 45 minutes maybe, just to maintain some rhythm. So I do think if Saka's fit, there's a chance he contributes in this game, be it a 20-minute substitute cameo or maybe start the first half. And then imagine with the front 3 of Saka, Sterling, Jesus, you hopefully are able to go a couple of goals up and then get Saka off. Like, I think Jesus and Sterling, absolutely, we can be expecting 90 minutes and that's fine. But get Saka off and in Cotton Wool if he's fit. But for what it's worth, the predicted 11 I'm going with, even Declan Rice, like that's a headache in my head. I just can't really think of an alternative right now. So I think David Raya will be okay, and I think he'll play. I think it'll be David Raya, Josh Nichols at right back, Kivior, Gabriel, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Jorginho, Nwaneri, and Declan Rice. Cabia, Jesus, Sterling is what I'm going with. And then I think you'll see if they're fit, the likes of Calafiori, Timber, perhaps Saka, a couple of the youngsters, all look to really get involved and manage everyone's minutes, effective substitutes, essentially. We did have another defender on the bench against Man City. His name's Maldini Kachuri. I believe he's more of a centre-back, though, so not sure if we'll see him unless Kivior gets left back. But like I said, I think Miles Lewis-Skelly's a shoo-in to play. So yeah, that's the 11 I'm going with. I'm just going and looking through the substitutes from the last few games just to see what other youngsters have been involved in the squad. Yeah, and all the other ones that were on the squad against Atalanta played yesterday for the academy, so I don't really see them being involved as a result. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Ismail Kabir was on the bench against Tottenham. That was the game I was looking for. So that's the 11 I'm going with. Uh, Nick Fadley's in trying to. Nick, don't be rude. We've Arsenal versus Bolton. There's no need for that. But yeah, that's the 11 I'm going with. Let me know what you think. Like I say, if anyone can predict this 11, Jesus Christ, good luck. I know hearing the likes of Gabriel, Rice, potentially Saka starting makes people nervous, but cannot stress and emphasize it enough. Like, it's the idea of them playing some minutes because we don't have Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Marino. Who else have I missed that is now unavailable? Like Timber Calafiori are question marks and doubts. I think, yeah, it's quite frustrating, that Zinchenko and Tomiyasu stuff, because the knock-on impact could have been quite big. And as a result, it means we might have to play a Ben White, a Gabriel, a Saliba, which we don't want to be doing at this stage of the season. But yeah, let's see how we get on. Score predictions wise, I think we'll have enough. I think we'll be able to get the job done. I think Bolton will make it quite difficult for us, but yeah, I think we'll have enough quality, especially in that final third. I think like Sterling, Jesus combined with Jorginho being in like the central area of the pitch, Nwaneri being able to contribute, Miles Lewis-Skelly. I just think while it's not an outstanding 11 we'll be able to put out, I think it'll be more than effective to be efficient in the right areas, and like Jorginho dictating the play, and Nwaneri hopefully being able to really get on the ball, showcase his ability, be effective in the middle to final third. I think Sterling and Jesus, like the Bolton defenders, are probably going to be in for a shock in terms of like the level of movement and individual dribbling quality. Like one of my I won't name names, but one of my friends used to play for Blackpool, and he's not at Blackpool anymore. He's in another league, but still playing professionally, and he's a centre back. And they played Liverpool in pre-season, the year where I can't remember what year, but they had like Firmino, Mane, Salah. And I spoke to him, and he was just like, obviously Blackpool. He was, I think they were League One at the time, even though he did it for them. I think it was the League One summer, but he did say like their individual movement was just a joke. He's never seen anything like it, and their kind of close control and stuff. And I think that's something where we'll be able to really leverage that in the final third tomorrow against Bolton. So yeah, looking forward to it. For the Bolton fans that are listening, good luck. Safe travels if you're traveling down, and hope you have a nice time. And yeah, I always love seeing in the Carabao Cup like the large allocations of the away end. Yeah, it's quality, always bring the noise. So yeah, have a good trip. Hopefully not too good a trip, because I would like to continue building my away credits. So I'd like a nice trip away somewhere if we beat Bolton, and so obviously it's a chance for a trophy. So yeah, let's see how we get on. Feedback welcome on this one. But yeah, let's see how we get on. Up the Arsenal. And like I said, check out the Fan Zone podcast tomorrow, where I'll be guesting on, which is a Bolton fan led podcast. So check that out. Cheers, everyone. Up the Arsenal.